Hey everyone, I'm here to tell you about the pros and the cons of using the Pixel 8 Pro. So what I'm going to do is talk about 3 pros and 3 cons in each category. So let's start with the pros first. So one of the first pros about owning a Pixel is those AI features. You got to love the AI features. Google is really heavy on AI and really making it part of our lifestyle that we do on a daily. They try to figure things that people do on a daily and what kind of stays out of your way and just kind of implement it into the phone experience. And it has been like one of the best AI phone experiences ever, even if we don't have like these crazy AI editing tools, because I don't look at that as a everyday thing for us. Stuff like spam calling and on hold for me, these are like the simple things, and like spam messages, all of this, and things like clear calling and all of that, it just makes sense to use on a day-to-day basis. And I think that Google really kind of nailed the AI that's important to a lot of us. I don't mean us tech people, I mean like the average person. If when we talk about this tech, we sometimes gotta really kind of consider like the average person, right? That's in mind. My coworker, he just, he's on a Note 5 and he's like, I don't need to upgrade. And I'm sitting there laughing at him. I'm a tech guy, so I'm laughing at him because he got a Note 5. He's like, man, my phone makes phone calls and I can send messages and I can take pictures. And I couldn't even argue with him with that, right? But us people right here, the ones that's watching right now, we're like, bro, you gotta get off that Note 5 because the specs. And we start talking about all this crazy nonsense stuff, and they're looking at us like, you know what I'm saying? That's the face that they give us. But we know they don't know. And when we talk about this tech, we gotta think about average features. We got to think about the average user sometimes. And I think Google does a really good job when it comes to their AI and just the average user in general. I want to talk about the Nix Pro, and that is 100% the camera. Pixels have one of the most reliable camera experiences on the market, whether you a pro shooter or amateur shooter, or you accidentally just hit the shutter button by accident. Those people, we get those a lot. That's my mom. She just randomly takes these random pictures by accident, but it happens, right? And Pixel cameras are like really good. I don't want to sit here and claim something to be the best. A lot of people in the tech community kind of want to make these claims about everything, right? Whatever product they love, they want to claim it as the best. Now, I enjoy the Pixel cameras above everyone else's, but I'm not going to sit here and claim it being the best, because it may not be the best processing to the next person. It may not be the best contrast or sharpness, lighting, colors, everything. You might want really, really strong warm tones, or maybe oversaturated tones, or saturated tones. I want to say oversaturated. Or you might like things really, really sharp or really, really dark. I mean, everybody has a different eye for photography, and what they look at may not be what the next person likes. But when it comes to the Pixels, you can trust this camera. It is one of the most reliable cameras on the market, whether you're shooting static objects or something moving real fast. It just nails it. It does a really good job, and it's part of that great Pixel experience. And I want to put that in the pro section, because normally, when you get this phone, I mean, anybody can really get a good picture out of it. And you can't say that about a lot of other phones. Hate it or love it, I'm going to put software and updates in the pro category of this, because when it comes to Pixel software, it's one of the most cleanest softwares that you can get on Android. And one of the greatest things about it, you're first in line for all updates. Once the update is out, your Pixel is going to get it before all other phones out. I don't mean security patches, I mean like major OS updates. That is one of the biggest things about Pixels that I really love. It's, no different than iOS, and that's a good reason to love iOS as well, is because of that software support. And one of the best things of software support, Google has upped the ante, giving us 7 years, topping pretty much everybody, as well as Samsung gives us 7 years too. I'm going to throw iOS in there because Apple never really officially said they're going to support devices for like 7 years, but I think they said up to 5 years or something like that. It's no guarantee, but Google and Samsung are guaranteeing those 7 years. So, for my Apple fans, okay, Apple support devices for a very long time, but I'm just going off confirmation. I'm not going off like waiting to see if Apple's going to send an update to this device, or we're going to update an old device or drop it. I'm talking about straight up confirmation from the big dogs themselves, Google And Samsung said 7 years on their devices, period. Apple never came out and stated that. So as of right now, when it comes to updates, I want to say that Google and Samsung's probably like the king of that at the moment, but they still have to show and prove because, you know, obviously it hasn't been 7 years since these devices came out. So we all have to see how long that's going to actually be. Pixel software, whether you like it or not, it's one of the cleanest, smoothest softwares out there. I enjoy it personally. I don't know about everyone else. Some people don't like it because it's very bone, very stockish and just boring and stuff like that. And look, man, I 100% understand, and I definitely understand it. I don't want to say I agree with you anymore because my mind changed about that. I used to be the same way. I love Samsung, HTC, LG, all these other companies that actually had skins, but I couldn't stand stock Android because it just felt so boring and it felt like it was lacking so much. And these other companies with their skins threw all these cool features in there, and Google just bare bone. And man, I don't even know what changed my mind. Well, it was the Pixel 6 series when it dropped, but ever since that, I've been fine with stock Android. In fact, when I use a phone with a skin, I'm like, oh, I need to go back to stock. Like, I've never been a stock guy. It's just crazy how things flip-flop and turn because I hated stock. Now I love stock and I hate skins. So, but if HTC actually came back, I might go back. They were like my top skin. But yeah, sorry to interrupt this video, but just in case you didn't know, Delvon Digital makes his own custom wallpapers. All my wallpapers will be shown in my videos that you've been watching on this channel. So if you really want to support me, go ahead and hit that link down in the description below and go grab you some nice wallpapers. I mean, these things are dope. I do give all my supporters the Delvon Digital exclusive color, and in my custom wallpaper packs, there are 15 more colors just for you. So what you waiting for? Go ahead and pause this video, hit that link, and go get you some wallpapers and come on right back and finish this up. But anyways, let's get back to the video. Now let's get to the cons, everybody's favorite section of every video, because who doesn't like negativity? We love to thrive off of that. That's what the tech community does. And I'm going to sit here and say that just because I'm mentioning some of these cons doesn't mean that it's a real con for me. But I just want to bring that up because I'm not one of those people who is going to be like, well, since it's not happening to me, it's not real. I'm not like that. I know that everyone's experience with this stuff can be totally different, and a con for you may not even be an issue for me, but I'm going to bring this up. So the first one is going to be that Tensor chip. I mean, you knew it was coming. This is that con I was talking about. I don't have issues with the Tensor chip. No heating, no getting warm. But I mean, yeah, warm, right? Because it's a phone. All phones get warm. But just heating or shutting down to a point where I can't use it, or overheating, or dropping frame rates and all of that. So all the Tensor issues that other people are having on the internet with Tensor chip is just not happening with me. But again, like I told you before, it's a con because it's happening. It's a real thing. It's not like I'm like, oh man, no, it's not real. Y'all lying. Nobody is lying. Everyone is telling the truth about their experience. And I believe each and every one of you, because it's no reason. I don't feel like you have a reason to lie about your experience, right? Unless you're just like some kind of like hater of Google and Pixels. And I get it, because you probably never owned one. And if you didn't own one, you're probably lying. I mean, obviously, right? If you're just not a Pixel person and you never owned one, you're lying. Completely just talking about it. You're talking about other people's experiences, right? But with that being said, like, I understand that people are having issues with the Tensor chip, but it's just not happening with me. I'm just not that, I guess I'm not an aggressive user, a power user. And some people say, I don't do nothing but browse the internet. I'm like, yo, okay, I don't know how it's heating up, overheating, but Tensor seems to be a problem. It's built on a very bad chip, and Google is going to address that in 2025. Maybe even so this year with the Tensor 4, but still, we're all waiting for that 2025 chip. And we hope that all those Tensor issues will be wiped clean when they have their fully custom chip. But still a con right now. Now, this is a con actually for me in my experience of using this phone, but not a problem, but the charging speeds. Mostly everything that I use charges extremely fast. And I don't mean to say extremely like super duper fast, but it at least has 65 watts or more, or 45 watts or more. But 28, I think the Pixel has, is pretty slow. So it's like one of those situations where I want all my devices to have fast charging, and the Pixel is like the last one standing in line. But we know the Pixel 9 series is getting 45. So thank you, Google, because I seen that. I saw that in the little thing, so I know it's coming. And the last con for me, and this is a real con, right? The fingerprint reader. I really don't like that it's optical, I believe. And I want the ultrasonic, which I also hear that's coming to the new series, but that's not here. This video is made before that. So yes, the fingerprint reader. Now listen, I'm gonna say this. The fingerprint reader works, right? And it works a lot. But the reason why I'm putting it as a con for me, not for anybody else, but for me, is that I'm not saying that it fails more than it hits, right? But it fails enough for me to realize that it fails. And that's why I'm putting it in my con section, because it'll be times where I'm pressing and pressing and pressing and it fails and it fails. And I'm like, boom, then I got to put my password in. That feels like it happens too much, even though it doesn't happen too much. See, when you use a fingerprint reader or a face unlock and you just find yourself sometimes having to put your password in too much a little bit, you start to realize like, why am I got to keep putting my password in? So because of that feeling when it happens, I'm putting it in this con section. I shouldn't have to always feel like I'm putting my password in more, even though I know that I'm not putting it in more than I'm putting, using my fingerprint or it hitting, I guess, and getting it correct. But it fails. It fails enough for me to recognize it. So I'm putting that right there in the cons. And yeah, I hope it'd be better this time around on the 9 series, because I'm hearing rumors of the ultrasonic, and I feel like Google is about to fix a lot of the issues that I currently have with the Pixel now. So I'm really excited for the new Pixels and the new Pixel Fold. You already know me, Mr. Pixel up in the building. Well, there you go. Those are my pros and cons of using the Pixel 8 Pro for pretty much its lifespan of 1 year so far. And those are the things that just kind of sit with me a little bit, besides the chip situation. But I wanted to throw that in there because I understand that it is a real issue. If you have any, please go ahead and share them in the comments below. I'm curious to see if you guys are having different issues or the same issues or whatever it is that you love and hate about it. And I really want to hear from you guys. All the Pixel users out there, we're all experiencing different experiences with them, but I just want to know what type of experience you're having. Anyways, please don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.